Doyle Ryder Education Center is located centrally in the city of Flint, Michigan. We had a remodel and an addition put onto the building in 1988 to keep up with the demand of the growing school system. In October of 2014, we had a substantial loss here in the Ryder side of the Doyle Ryder building. We had water damage that worked its way through the building, through the second floor and onto the first floor, causing extreme damage to our ceiling tiles, to the floors, to drywall, to fixtures. Fortunately, we had an emergency response profile set up with Serpro of Saginaw and jumped right into action.
When I arrived at Doyle Ryder Elementary School to take on the role of principal of the building, I arrived to Serpro on my first day, helping us out to still continue business as normal in spite of all of the havoc that was wreaked by the flood that had affected the majority of our classrooms in our school. A total of 20 teachers and around 400 students were placed into any nook and cranny we could fit them in a building that is 100 plus years old. When we talk about these kind of things, we talk about kids and what they need on a day-to-day basis and stability. And with routines at school, that's one of the key things that Serpro is able to help us out with in building that relationship and helping us in doing various things such as monitor students during breakfast and lunch periods due to the need to have additional staff for that, helping to get temporary makeshift classroom set up inside of the gymnasium, and literally having every square inch of the building occupied by either a crew to work on the flood damages or also, in the case of the building, to ensure that everybody had a place to be and a place they could call at least a temporary home. When the first project had ended, the building was back to a level that was better than the way it was before. We had new ceiling tiles, fresh coats of paint throughout the building, HVAC systems had been cleaned, and it just had a fresh new feel for students to begin classes again. It was back to business as normal, or so we thought.
On the 11th of January, we had a pipe burst on the third floor of the Doyle building, which caused substantial water damage through 3 floors of the building, rendering the Doyle side of the building unusable.
Challenges were a little bit greater with the other side of the building, having been the much older, the old Doyle School, which was open initially in 1901. We had lost the use of our main office, the use of our cafeteria, the use of our library, the use of our kindergarten rooms, as well as the use of our intervention rooms for our students that struggle the most. We were dealt a very crippling loss, having to go through this flood once again. One that took a longer time due to the delicacy of having to navigate the building that had much older structures, much older things put in place that now, due to the flood, had to be updated and basically built from the ground up.
Our intent is to have minimal amounts of downtime for learning and instruction for our students, because that's the most important thing for us. When this loss took place, it was all one big seamless operation to get this building back up and running for our students at full capacity.
From the beginning, the key was communication. Our project managers, John Hawthorne and Don Anger, our construction manager, were readily willing and able to communicate with myself and as well as key staff members to ensure that we had the things we need, the services we could provide to just do things seamlessly as we knew we had to. It took quite a bit of communication on the front end and throughout the process to ensure that it stayed smooth, and in dealing with all the little things that come up and making sure that as the project goes forward, as the restoration continues, that we are looking at the flood as though it never happened. If you just come into the gym alone, you are looking at one of the most beautiful gym floors that our staff and students have ever seen. This is just great quality work that was done as part of the refurbishment. A lot of school pride is behind the way the gym looks. The students are doing their part to maintain and keep this up as much as possible. Looking at the office, brand new layout, brand new carpet, brand new paint. It is better than it was before. A lot of the other issues, other code things that had happened over the years, over time, as things change, were updated and fixed. library, second floor, new carpet throughout. Looking at the third floor in the cafeteria, it was a whole new building. And aside from losing the murals that were once up there, what we do have, though, is we have a fresh canvas on which to paint and leave our mark and leave our legacy as we move forward at Doyle Ryder Elementary School. The fact that we've got peace of mind once this project completed was, from the staff to the parents to the students, a refreshing feeling that we were walking back into the Doyle Ryder that we once knew, but only this time it was new and improved. That sense of community once again came back as we continue to reestablish within Flint Community Schools that we happen to be the newest old building in the district. And that's a title that we proudly carry at Doyle Ryder.